Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poemass video, and today let's talk a bit about the Summer N Zoroark that's coming out later tonight, which as usual we will be summoning live for, so stay tuned for that, right? And, well, this is a unit, first of all, it is a seasonal, obviously, so don't really expect it to rerun once it's, gone until next summer, right? So it's basically what it, it's what seasonals are, right? For the most part, there are like certain chances, circumstances where they like maybe come out here and there, right? But anyways, let's go over the guy's kit. So this guy is striker, right? Dark type damage dealer, and he's really nice. He's really nice. He could do some really surprisingly good damage, right? And relatively fast as well. So you basically got really like all you want from a striker from this guy, right? You could get a pretty powerful nuke if you really want to. You get some pretty solid DPS out there, right? And it's just that like his kit, it's really weird because like a lot of like the kit stuff is focused around like him sinking, right? You know, if you sink, you get super effective up next, right? If you sink, you get a free move next. But it's just slightly weird of a fit with him beside the obviously Dark Zone setter Cyrus, right? Because Dark Zone, because Cyrus is such a powerful nuker, right? It's just really hard to really compete with Cyrus nuking. So a lot of times you will not really have any of these at all, right? You really won't have this, you won't have this. Like, it basically, like, 2/3 of his kit is not very useful, right? If you do want to really run him alongside Dark Zone Cyrus, because, again, most of the time you would probably just want to focus on his DPS, right? With Furious Brain over here, which is a great multiplier. You got Obscuring Power 3, which is pretty nice as well. His main multipliers, right, in this case is just based on special attack buffs, which he could easily get, right? +6 on his trainer move over here. And then you have, again, Obscuring Power here, right? As long as you lower the opponent's accuracy, that's another extra 30%, right? So 6% multiplier, 448 special attack, right? Night Days, 4 gauge move power-wise, right? And then on top of that, you, again, have Dark Zone support. So, like, his damage output is actually really nice if, again, you focus mainly on his DPS and not on his nuke, right? Because again, like, his sync, he gives you this stuff and all that, but on the other hand, like, the sync nuke grid that you're looking at really is Obscuring Sync 5 and Devastation, which Obscuring Sync 5 isn't that bad, right? Again, you only really just need to debuff the opponent's accuracy once, and then boom, you got Obscure Sync 5, right? Which again is not super difficult considering it might be difficult in like the first sync cycle, right? But again, just considering Night Days, 40% chance of lowering the opponent's accuracy by 1, that's not even with on a roll, right? So it should be really easy over there. But outside of that, right, you also have Adrenaline over here, which is nice as well if you sync. But the other multiplier is Devastation, and Devastation is not that easy to trigger. If folks are wondering, well, what if he could snarl, right? Just use his own snarl. That's not really good because, again, on the other hand, his Night Days could do some really good damage, right? So every turn you're using snarl is a turn you're not using Night Days, right? And if you like fully build into his DPS, I'm pretty sure his DPS could actually outdamage his nuke. So again, a lot of parts, it's like, yeah, the stuff you get from the nuke is nice for him personally, right? But in terms of helping your entire team, a lot of times it probably doesn't help that much, right? Well, if you're running, again, Dark Zone Cyrus, which is obviously is one of his best partners. So he's a weird unit. His main, the main stuff in his kit that makes his kit, makes this unit unique, is not very good in the best case scenario, right? So the best version of N that he could individually become is not the best version that you should probably run, right? You should just run like a full DPS N, right, for the most part. Obviously, again, if you don't have Cyrus, then maybe it's a different conversation. Probably depends on what your other dark type damage dealer is, right? There's other options, right? So yeah, again, if we could check out the damage over here, right? That runner got, like, he's a 1 million. If you again solely focus on his DPS, right? So this is just a DPS grid or whatever. If you solely focus on that, he's a 1 million damage dealer, right? You ignore the special conditions here. This is super effective up, which again he doesn't really get, right? Because you get it after sync, and the other one is like only once, right? Coming in with a full HP. Well, you get one, which is nice, right? But again, if you're not syncing with him, you're not getting the rest there. And if you are syncing with him, this damage is going to be much lower, because then you'll have to balance between, all right, picking up stuff like Obscure Sync, Devastation, and you probably don't have enough energy to pick up all this other, you know, DPS stuff, right? So again, it's a balancing act with them. This sync damage does not look right. Let me see. Oh, this is just a DPS grid. Oh, so that's just like his sync damage if you run a DPS grid. So that's like without, if you don't run Obscure Sync, Devastation. I'm not sure why Runner did this in his calculations. I mean, you'd think, you know, for sync grid, you probably want to... if I were to guess why, it's probably just because, again, he probably agrees, right, with the fact that, that N, in terms of, again, using him, like, the best way to use him is just not syncing with him, right? Not syncing with him. Which, again, I tend to generally agree as well, right, for the most part. But, hey, again, if you want to, like, you know, make your N the best you can, obviously you could go for that, right? But if you're trying to just get the best out of your team, maybe not, right? So anyways, yeah, let's get back to N. So very, very good damage dealer. In my opinion, my personal opinion, he's probably the best dark type DPS we have at the moment, right? Let me just quickly... Yeah, I'd say he's probably the best dark type DPS overall, right? Again, he has some multipliers that aren't super hard to set up. You got, you know, his speed's relatively fast as well, right? His own stats are relatively, you know, good to buff. He's a very, very good unit. Very, very, very good damage dealer, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, also catalyst something. He's a good unit. He's a good unit. He's built very, very, yeah, he's powerful, right? Good DPS. It's just mostly what Darkrai needed, right? Is this the perfect unit to run alongside Darkrai, in my opinion? Probably not. If only, you know, maybe if they focus on took away this thing. Not saying that his DPS is bad. His DPS is not bad, right? But, you know, maybe if they change like the passives, change like the sync focused passives into more DPS focused, you know, a bit more, then this guy would be like insane, right? This guy would be like... But regardless, even without that, it's still very, very powerful. I mean, you know, 1 million damage dealers are no joke, right? Even though there's a lot of them nowadays, but still, it's still 1 million, you know, damage dealer, which is good, right? So, anyways, that being said, in terms of the pull score, I'll give this a 6.5 out of 10, right? Again, very, very good unit, all that stuff, right? I mean, there's really nothing there's nothing like wrong about it. Like, my only complaints are that it's not even more OP, right? It's a good unit. Very solid, strong damage dealer, right? Basically what you really need. That or at least what Dark Zone is really looking for at the moment. And yeah, I don't know, he's good, right? It's nothing. The reason why the score isn't like any higher, which 6.5 in my opinion is pretty high already. I mean, anything above 50%, right, is definitely in consideration, or 50%. Everything over like a score of 5 in my opinion is definitely consideration for free-to-play players to pull, right? And the only thing, right, holding it back from a higher pull score is the 3 Master Fairs that are up at the moment. SS Chris, SS Lyra, and freaking, you know, let's see, SS Ethan, right? They are really good. SS Lyra is, again, SS Lyra is just so much better than like 90% of the units in this game. It's not even funny, right? Then obviously SS Chris is fantastic, and SS Ethan's pretty good as well. Although obviously I'd say a step lower, you know, the other two. But that being said, right, there's still Mastiffairs. Mastifair, the chance for them to rerun so far is none. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna rerun eventually, but so far, what the game has shown us is, if they are gonna rerun, which I do think they will, it's taken a while. It is taking a long time for them to rerun, and those are meta-defining units. Like, maybe not Ethan, but you know, the other two at least, right? And Ethan's really good as damage dealer as well, right? Especially if you are lacking in the flying department. Flying department sounds like a government organization. Anyways, yeah, he's a good unit. It's just that the 3 Mastiffairs are up, and next month it's an anniversary. Villain arc coming up, anniversary coming up, like another villain. That last villain arc gave us SS Ethan, SS Chris, and SS Lyra, SS Morty, and SS Giovanni. Those 5 units was in that last villain arc. The one before that was SS Renegade Cynthia, SS Cyrus, SS Dawn, and Lucas. And we're getting another one, which could potentially give us even better units. And it's next month. It's next month. Again, as much as I think this guy's a great unit, right? He's a great unit, man. Fantastic unit. I am sorry. I cannot really recommend free-to-play players to pull for it any more than the score that I gave, right? Which is, again, 6.5. Which is, again, it's definitely a unit worth considering pulling for, right? But also, if you're fine with dark type stages at the moment, right? It's probably not a banner you want to go for right now with, again, the big banners up and the big banners coming up. But, you know, as usual, in my opinion, you should always pull for your favorites. So if this guy's your favorite, if you really like, you know, the character or the outfit or the Pokemon, right? If it's your favorite Pokemon, whatever, go for it, right? He's a very good unit. You're not gonna, it's not like you're getting, you know, you're getting trolled for spending gems on this banner, right? If you really just like the character or Pokemon that much, right? Very good unit. So go ahead, right? But otherwise, if you don't really care for the character or Pokemon, I'd say you could definitely consider it if you're especially struggling with dark type, you know, stages. But if you're not, then it's either pull on the Mastiffairs or save for the anniversary / next villain arc. Or they could be the same thing, who knows. That's another discussion topic for a different video. But yeah, anyways, if you're a whale, then this is definitely something you want to pull for, alright? If you whale in the game, you spend real money, this is something you want to pick up, alright? But anyways, that's me this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoyed, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy the videos from our channel for some more Paul Masters content. And we'll pull for him later tonight, so hopefully that goes well. And good luck to those who are pulling as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one then.